between Sylvia, who's making us the baddest cheesecake.
Right. And Andrea.
And Andrea.
Right.
And then, but I feel blessed to have all of them.
And I feel blessed because I'm in a house full of women tonight. I'm in a house full of women, and they're all
creative women.
Creative women.
Oh my God.
Creative black women.
Yeah, honey, look our world.
So they can actually creative. So they can make clothes. They can realign my body. They can entertain me. They can cook for me, and then all of you can actually paint for me, and all of you can probably beat me up too. They can come and see you on Tuesday nights at the Broadway from 8 to 12. Did you say 8 to 12?
8 to 11.
8 to 11. Don't come at 11:30 because they'll be gone. You have a website, so we want to make sure we get that out.
Kat Hefner, KATTHEFNER.com.
Ione, can you tell people how they can get in touch with you? Yeah, give out the information for Ione's.
941-955-4599.
941-955.
4599.
4599.
Or our website, which is Ione.com.
Ione. Now spell Ione because there are some people out there, they're going to try to spell it with a Y.
IONIE.com.
Okay, and you're open Monday through Friday.
By appointment.
Now, your studio is in Siesta Key.
Yes, in the village, but most people, there's two ways to get in touch with me. Now, you can call me direct.
Okay.
My studio, 955-9881. I've had that number for years here. Or my dealer, Alan Gallup Gallery, which is on 5th and Central. I do not know his number off the top of my head, but there's two ways to find it. And then my website is FultonRoss.com. Fulton Ross, one word.
You can always go to my website, which is LawrenceHubbardDesigns.com, and you can also send an email at LawrenceHubbard@LawrenceHubbardDesigns.com, and I will make sure that you get in touch with anybody who's ever been on my show if you're interested in getting in touch with them. And were you going to say something else, man?
Can we eat some cheesecake now?
Back here in the kitchen, we are about to eat the cheesecake. Yes, I'm so excited. Now, what is the name of this? Because there's a special ingredient on this particular cheesecake that you're not going to give out, but what's the name of it?
This here is a caramel truffle cake.
Now we're going to put a topping on top of it. And then
First we're going to slice it.
First we're going to slice it. You have to use a cold knife?
Hot
knife.
It just makes it easier to go
okay.
with the cake. And once she gets a piece on the plate, then you will notice at the bottom, right, and you have your crust, and then what we have on top of the crust is caramel and pecans.
Okay.
All right. So that's going to give you
ready for this.
much of a more flavor of the toppings that she's going to place on the top.
Okay. Now, what does, while she's cutting it, what does a cheesecake cost? If someone were to call you and say, hey, I'd like to order a cheesecake like this.
We have 3 different sizes. We have a 7-inch, a 9-inch, and a 10. And they range from $20 up to $35.
$20 and $35.
And we do have our featured cake, which is a fancy cheesecake. And that's whatever your taste bud desires.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
You can see the nuts and the caramel at the bottom.
Okay.
There you go, my dear. Enjoy. It's heavenly.
Oh my gosh. This is heavenly.
You know what? We're going to make sure our guests are getting some. I told her to keep cutting the cake while you were eating. And she's been so, you know, I have that effect on people. I'm so fabulous that they just forget what they're supposed to be doing.
And I couldn't stop eating Nutella. In my mind,
oh my God, you almost finished the whole cake.
In my mind, I kept saying, don't forget Kat and Ione.
Oh, well.
I couldn't get it out.
This is my dad.
Okay.
In front of the car that he designed. And most people do not realize that a black man designed, it was either I think it's the 57 Cadillac.
Okay.
You see those fins in the back?
Okay.
That's his design. You see that grill work? That's his design.
Okay.
But he was not a designer for that company, for General Motors and Cadillac. He worked as a body and fender man at a local dealership. He knocked the dents out of cars. My
Okay.
mom called him a tin knocker.
Okay, so where did the concept for the fin and the grill come from?
His mom.
He,
He brought home a Cadillac that he drove, and he just took it in the garage a year later, and he would go down and work on this, make drawings, do everything, and a year later out came this car, and he was driving it, and then the suits came from Detroit, said we liked that car, and basically confiscated it.
they took the car.
They took the car. The car was theirs, they said. In other words, because he worked for them, the design belonged to them.
Did they pay him for his car?
Yes and no. They
Peanut.
replaced the car
To replace the car.
with just an Oldsmobile. I remember it was two-tone blue Oldsmobile because the name of the place he worked for in Malden, Massachusetts was called Cadillac and Olds.
Okay.
And so they gave him an Oldsmobile, took the Cadillac and the drawings.
And then mass produced or reproduced his
Yes,
design.
this became the car.
The car.
And then over the years, instead of being given credit for this, they gave credit to the. At one point, it was a German guy. They said it was the space campaign. Going to the moon. Friends, never have they given credit to
Okay.
her. And let me just say his name out loud: Herman Fulton.
The powers that were at that time in Detroit
Yes.
came to his home.
I'm sure they were called by the dealership to say you should see
this
the
car. Okay.
Because you could also he designed it so the old electric shaver you could plug it in and shave.
So he designed that too?
Absolutely.
They went back, copied his designs,
Yeah.
and then a year later, a couple years later,
Comes out.
it comes out.
But when this picture was done, it comes from a black and white photograph where Ebony and Jet sent a photographer to photograph my father at our local park in front of this car. And that is the only, at this point, documentation we have because, of course, they took the designs.
And there are no pictures of a Cadillac that look anything like
No,
that
this was his.
before
This was
he
his.
was standing in front of the one that he did.
Exactly.
And don't come looking for Gail Fulton. It's in a safety deposit box somewhere, so don't come and think you're going to steal the picture because it's already been documented on my show, and we made sure the picture is away because I would love to say that my show and the viewers out there, because Sarasota, one thing I can say about you have people, historians,
Yes.
and people who are out there in Sarasota, they love this kind
But
of
I
stuff.
wish they would because it would. It's hard for me to go back and find out the exact dates. At least put the band's name next to the design of
The Fulton
fin.
fin.
And the other thing is
Fulton
because
grill.
we do know that they use designers. There's a brother who's designed for him, and he gets credit for his design.
Right.
All I'm saying is my father did it too.
Okay, well I can say this to all the people out there, and I'm going to say it to the black people who are out there. You can go to your Cadillac dealer and you can ask them to make sure that when you buy a Cadillac, you can actually put a Fulton grill name on it yourself.
They want the Fulton fin.
I want the Fulton fin and a Fulton grill.
I
and
like that. You said something.
yeah, they put it on there themselves.
Cadillac.
I don't know, but I think the least Cadillac can do is send you one. Gail is a passionate artist, but she's also passionate